All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Living Freestyle live stream. We're working on game dev. This is a game dev Q&A AMA slash I'm making a game. The way this generally works is, well, first off, my name's Kevin. We do this twice a week. We're here Sunday nights and Wednesday mornings. Generally speaking, this is kind of like office hours. Come and go as you please. Questions generally take priorities. If you have a question, throw it in the chat. There is no way, we're primarily working with Unreal. There's no way any one person knows everything, but hopefully we can stumble through it together and figure out what's going on. I work in game dev professionally. I'm fortunate enough to do this every day at work. And as cool as that is, a lot of the cool stuff I get to do at work, there's a whole lot of cool stuff I don't get to do at work. And so this is also a chance for me to get some exposure to some of those other cool things. Right now we are working largely on AI and setting up abilities and just getting a better understanding of the Lyra system. The reason we're doing that is once we have our baseline understanding of how all that stuff works, we can actually really start cranking on making some of the more gameplay type stuff. If you were here Sunday night, I started extremely late because I accidentally forgot to click the actual button that says start live stream. So anyways, I believe we have that going tonight or this morning. All right, I'm actually going to take a quick look and double check all of our levels here, and then we will get going in Unreal back to what we were working on. So let's see here. We'll also go ahead and make sure we share our screen. There we go. So looks like we've got our screen up, and YouTube. There we go. As always, let's just go ahead and do a quick double check and make sure there were no questions in any of the previous streams, especially from Wednesday, largely because, and it also looks like we have two Lyra dashboards open, so let's just kill one of those and double check. Yep, looks like we're live, which is, you know, that's good. People can see stuff. Okay, perfect. All right, and we were just double checking for questions, and I don't see any questions posted in any of the previous streams. So it looks like we are good to go to continue with what we were working on. In this case, we were working on grenades and stunning characters and things like that. The other thing that we're doing that's cool is we're getting ready to be able to freeze stuff. So this is a material, if we frame in on this, this is a freeze material that I grabbed. It's if you do a search for frost grenade, there is, what was it that did that workup? Just so I can give proper creds. Oh, it was a real-time VFX post, and it was posted by eStamps, and it's this really cool effect. Now, there's no way we're gonna go that far into it, just simply because from a prototype standpoint, that's like way over the top of what we need. But the actual material was in there, and so without a lot of work, we're able to get a frost material, which is cool. So we got that. That is going to be applying to our actual frost grenade once we get it going. And if we bring back our grenade itself, let's just double check. Actually, let's bring up our ability tree first. Behavior tree. That's the Lyra bot behavior tree. We want the, here's our enemy behavior tree. Just temporarily for testing, we're just gonna connect this back up to a weight. Let's hop in and recheck with, one of our crashes, depending on, let's see, just make sure everything's working the way we're expecting. Okay. Yeah, that frost material is totally gonna work. All right, so if I hit this dude, okay, he pushes back. That dude doesn't push back because he's not really there. And the grenade is the one I want to check. Yep, totally pushes back. Okay, so our grenade is working from that standpoint. I'm wondering... Okay. So I think overall we've kind of reached our goal point, which was, to get our grenades to be able to stun and push and do all those things. I think it might be time to try to create a frost grenade. And there's gonna be, I think there's gonna be probably 3 main parts of what we want to try to do with this. One is obviously going to be making the frost grenade, which shouldn't be too bad. We'll just copy the other grenade. The second piece of it is going to be implementing a total freeze effect. Also probably won't be too bad. Third, I lied, there's 3 pieces. The third piece of it is going to be the material changes. So we're gonna dig into how material changes are working in Lyra, because we're definitely doing something in here. I can show you what I'm talking about. If we come up here to this character and we shoot them, you'll notice that it's hard to see blue on blue, but on his arm there's like a material change that's happening to the character, and you can also see it fades off. So there's definitely some kind of material stuff going on. We want to dig into how that's working. And then lastly, once we have our grenade made and everything like that, we're gonna have to wrap our heads around how the Lyra inventory and equipment system and everything else is set up. So let's go. Let's go. Okay, grenade. Let's see where this grenade lives. All right, this lives in the weapon grenade category. Now, you know what? There's another thing that's worth mentioning here that might be cool. If I want to make a frost grenade, or a fire grenade, or an acid grenade, or any of those kinds of grenades, it seems like it's kind of a lot to duplicate all the blueprints and everything for each one of those. So I feel like there's probably a world where we're able to make the grenade a frost grenade instead of creating a whole new one instead. But let's just see if we take a look at our reference viewer, how deep this rabbit hole is. So the teleporter can teleport the grenade. There's scoring, there's the gameplay ability, and then there's the gameplay notify for the grenade. And then this is all the stuff that it uses. That's fine. Let's edit this gameplay ability. Where does this live? This lives in... Oh, dude, this is just in the abilities section. This isn't even its own standalone. Standalone thing. Like, i.e. it's not a... It doesn't seem to be set up as an item that you pick up. So if we search on this, ooh, go back. I can't do that. Let's see here. We want this. Having some Windows problems. Here we go. All right. Cool. So this is part of our ability set for our hero, and the ability set for the shooter hero too, for the one that we made. So we can bring that up as well. So this is Granite gameplay abilities: jump, death, dash, etc. Granite gameplay effects. Oh, that's a player. All right. Melee, drop weapon, grenade. Interesting. So the grenade is just an ability that's granted. It looks like it doesn't look like it's an item that you pick up. That is gonna make this complicated. Maybe. Okay. Knowing that, we are going to make a new grenade. We're not going to keep this old grenade. But what we're going to do it as is we're going to do it as we're going to go full tilt. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the beam cannon as our example. And we're going to make a new directory here. Let's take, we're going to call this, the Uber grenade, the multi grenade. Let's see here. Let's call this the multi grenade. It's not really a multi grenade. Well, I'm gonna call it the Uber grenade for right now. Uber grenade. Okay. And then in our beam cannon, let's just take all of these things. This is gonna be tough, because there's a bunch of these things that we're not gonna need. Oh wait, there is a grenade folder here. There is a grenade folder here. All right, we're gonna have to back up. Let's see. What we can do is, this is our gameplay ability grenade, and then here's our grenade itself, and this is the GE damage grenade. But what we could do very easily here is switch on type of grenade and change. We want to change a couple things. We want to change the grenade effects that are spawned, as well as the damage. So let's see here. This executes gameplay cue on actor burst, deactivates it, overlapping actors, does all of our array elements, does our line trace. This is the grenade damage. Okay, we can basically capture that. That's pretty straightforward. Launch cleanup. It must be in this gameplay notify. And gameplay tag is weapon grenade detonate. All right, and for weapon grenade detonate, my guess is this gameplay notify has a tag. Weapon grenade detonate, it's down here. My head's right on top of it, so you can't see it. If I just move this window over. at the bottom here, you can see gameplay cue weapon grenade detonate. So let's resize our windows again. Make sure everything's fitting. Okay, so this is what's this is actually the gameplay notify that's getting spawned, and my guess is in here we have interesting, we're setting a Niagara variable here. And here's the explosion. I see. So what's happening is this GCN burst is spawning this Niagara system for the grenade explosion. And if you look at this, this should just be a pretty straightforward Niagara explosion. I don't know if it's gonna actually play here. No. There it is, yep. So this is just a pretty straightforward Niagara explosion. Alright, so that's where that's happening. Alright, so we know where everything is. I think the step back that we need to make here is we need to figure out how the grenade, how to make the grenade an item you pick up. A couple things I want to look at as part of that. Okay, so okay, that's melee. Okay, that's move. That's throw grenade. Control is crouch. Shift is dash. Oh, we do have a jump. I guess I didn't realize that. Options. Let's take a look at options. Mouse and keyboard. Sensitivities. Move forwards. Backwards fire weapons. Reload weapon. Auto run fire weapon on. Show scoreboard. Here we go. Quick slots 1, 2, and 3. And then we have a quick slot cycle. But interestingly enough, Q is only for throw grenade. Okay. And you can see we have the grenade in our UI in the bottom right. And when it goes up, when it goes out, it ticks. So how is that connected? Let's see if we can figure out how that's connected. It's going to be this is our grenade cooldown, which is part of our UI. So this is the widget. And then if we take a look inside this widget in the graph, ooh, there's nothing in the graph. How's this thing ticking? Wow. Okay, reference viewer, come to the rescue, please. Which in action touch button? That's interesting. Edit. Okay, here's our graph. Play animation 4, play animation reverse. Cooldown. Start and stop animation. Okay. And then, so this must be in our gameplay ability then. This aligns the grenade throw with the reticle player expectation. Perform a line trace. From the camera to the center, if the collision occurs, target grenade at the collision, otherwise target grenade as default target range. Okay, that's fine. That's the spawn rotation, so it's not going to be in there. Activate, commit. Has authority. We spawn the grenade, get the cooldown remaining, throw the grenade, broadcast cooldown to the grenade cooldown. This is using the gameplay message subsystem. I didn't even know there was a gameplay message subsystem. But interestingly enough, if we look at this, the grenade duration is used, the game duration message is used in this cooldown. So when we look at this, this has got to be connected to somehow in a way that we're not seeing. Here it is. This is our duration message and our associated action. What is IA? That's our input action. Okay. This is an edit with touch action button. Okay, so we have an input action and we have a duration message tag. And we're broadcasting from our gameplay ability the message. And what we're broadcasting is the cooldown time. And this is a wild way to do this. Okay. And so this is taking the associated action, whether or not we have a cooldown, cooldown inactive to active is disabled. This associated action is the input action. Where's the actual animation being controlled for this thing? I didn't know today was going to be a scavenger hunt. Somebody told me that. Item glow. We need to figure out what is filling up animations. Okay. And we're animating, what are we animating here? The brush material? And the item glow. And that's when we go. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Serial. Now, you missed the stream or I missed the stream Sunday? Did you come, Serial? Serial saying morning, missed the stream Sunday. Like, were you there at 10:15 and I wasn't type thing? Or did you just not make it? because if you missed the stream Sunday, that's actually a really good thing. I was feeling really bad because I don't know if you watched the stream afterwards. I had a awesome blunder where I sat down, I started streaming, I was super excited about all the stuff we were doing, and after an hour and a half I looked and I realized I had forgot to click the button to go live. So I was talking to myself for an hour and a half. So if you were there at 10:15 and I wasn't, I apologize. I remember you specifically saying that you were gonna try to make it, and I was feeling really bad about it. I'm a streaming professional. All right, let's see here. Update cooldown %. Here we go. Yeah, I'm sorry, Serial. It wasn't that I started later. I started at 10:15, and I forgot to click the button. And so at 11:30, I realized, oh my goodness. And so I went ahead and did a recap of everything I had just talked to myself about for like the last hour and a half. Yeah, I got this dialed in. Totally got it dialed in. All right, we're gonna listen for the duration. All right. What does listen for duration do? It gets the only player. Duration, get time in seconds. It sets the start time. All right. And if the animation is playing, it's gonna stop. It's gonna update the cooldown %. It's gonna play that animation forward. Anyways, bottom line, Serial, I apologize. I was all over it. All right, and so on tick, we're gonna get the time in seconds and IC. NWL. No worries. Or maybe that's an exclamation point. Okay, so now I think we just figured out how this thing is working. Basically what's happening is when the message gets pinged to the grenade tick down thing, what happens is we're capturing the current time and we're setting that as our start time. And then as this thing just ticks, it's always ticking. What we're doing is we're getting the current time, subtracting out the start time, and we're using that to set our duration, to set up our playing of our animations and stuff like that. So that explains how the grenade cooldown is working. What we don't know is so the grenade's active, goes deactive, and then it lights up. All right, so if we go back to that, when we first construct, we update the cooldown %. And this is based on oh, it looks like we're setting it to 1. Oh, and then we reset the materials if it has cooldown. So how often do we reset these materials? Quite often. So we reset materials if we disable. We reset materials on the pre-construct. And we reset materials on the construct. And basically all reset materials does is it goes through, it stops the animation, it gets dynamic materials, sets all the values, and sets everything back to 1. All right. So this is a pretty straightforward UI connected to a gameplay ability, but it's not connected to an item. And what we want to try to do is we want to try to make a grenade that's connected to an item. I'm not worried about being able to make a frost grenade. I believe we can do that. What we need to figure out is we need to figure out materials. Remember, that's our goals. Materials and the items. So how do we make a grenade that you can actually pick up? So let's just try to stay focused on that a little bit. And in order to do that, I think we need to better understand the item system. So let's take a look at something like a health pickup. All right, so there is, as an example, a weapon pickup, data heal big. All right, and this gets a spawn cooldown of 25 seconds. Here's our respawn sounds. There's a mesh. I have no idea why the equipment is an ID pistol. That's kind of weird. Let's see if we can make one of these health items in our levels. So we'll just take this, alt drag over to here, put it in the middle so it's not too far to get to. And then what we can do is in here, let's make this a heal big. And let's play this. Where did it go? Okay, so that's a big heal. And when I walk over it, it gives me a pistol. Yeah, so that's not set up right. That's pretty good. All right, so that kind of definitely tells me that this is not set up right. And this should be an ID heal pickup. Okay. So we're just that alone, we know we need an ID grenade pickup. All right, so let's try this. Oh. But how do we use this? Okay, so I've picked up this heal. It's just stuck to my hand. Wait a second. Let's try heal small. Heal. Hold on a second. That's kind of wild. Okay, let's look at heal small. Maybe heal small. This doesn't even look like it grants a gameplay or anything like this. So, our item description for heal pickup is a heal pickup. It's an inventory fragment equippable item. Okay, here we go. All right, so these are our weapons. We already talked about this. All right, and let's see if we can do this. Let's get. This is going to be our inventory. I'll try to map this as we go. We got our inventory. All right, and with our inventory, that what we're currently looking at right now is a Lyra inventory item definition. So let's say that this is going to be our Lyra inventory item definition. And we'll find out what all these colors are going to be later as we do it. But what this thing has in it is fragments. Whew. What in the world is a fragment? Fragment. Let's see if we can figure out what this means. Okay, within the fragment, we have whoa. Okay, so this is just an array of fragments. And fragments seem to be... Oh, you didn't see our charts from last time, Serial? We were mapping out the weapon system, trying to wrap our heads around the stuff, and it's actually been useful. You can kind of see here, like it's easier for me to find where things are in the weapons now. One of the things, and it's also easy for me to see where I have questions about why things were done. So for example, why are there 2 skeletal meshes? You can see there's one. Oops. Let's lock this. Oops. Let's do a couple things here. First off, you can see this one here and this one here. Why are there 2 skeletal meshes? That's one question I have. We also have 2 different places where the static mesh eject shells are set up. So there's just a couple things. So hopefully we can get to the same thing with this, with the fragments. Okay, so with the fragments, we have an inventory fragment equippable item. Okay. This is an inventory fragment equippable item. We definitely need a different color for this. We'll just go light yellow for now. And then that seems to be I don't even know what this is. What is this? This has an equipment definition underneath it. Okay. Which is one of these actually. Is it? Let's see. This is a Lyra equipment definition. It has it's a weapon instance base, which is weird. A heal pickup is the ability set. It has actors to spawn, attachment sockets. That is the exact same thing as this. So this dude the inventory fragment equippable item has in it, in this case, weapon identification. So this thing, actually, we can just draw an arrow over to here. Wait, that didn't work. Let's change the type here. Let's make this a little more. Let's delete that. That didn't work. This is one of these. Having a problem. There we go. This is just one of these, and make it big. That's interesting. We may want to copy this over and see. We'll see. But that's basically just a weapon item definition. Okay, which is interesting. The second piece, the second fragment we have is an inventory fragment quick bar icon. Oh, interesting. Okay, so what this is let's take a look at this. We have a quick bar. You can see it in the bottom right. If I go pick this up, okay, so now we know what's happening here. So this little X that you see down in the bottom right over here, you can see as I switch between the gun and the health pack that that's the quick bar icon. So if we go back, we can see that this is an inventory fragment quick bar icon. So we'll just do this. I'm gonna abbreviate this with IF, and this is gonna be quick bar icon. All right. I don't know what color we're gonna make our UI. I know that we need to reduce the opacity of this dude and change it. Let's go green. Okay, so we have a quick bar icon. And this is this has basically a brush, an ammo brush, and a display name. So this is all just kind of UI stuff. So let's just put some notes in here. This is the UI stuff for the equip bar. Okay. And then we also have another fragment, which is set stats, which is kind of weird because we're using the weapon stuff obviously to kind of specify all this stuff. And then here we go again. This is part of the thing that's confusing to me. I am looking at heal. I'm definitely looking at heal. But as you can see in here, we have magazine size, ammo size, all these things. And then we have a skeletal mesh. And the skeletal mesh is a pistol. It's clearly set to pistol. But when we pick it up, even though that's there, like, I don't see a pistol on the spawn platform. And when I pick it up, I don't see a pistol in my hand ever. So I feel like the pistol is, that skeletal mesh is just not even being used. I also have a question, which is, if I have damage applied to me, do I pick it up? Or do I heal myself? Shoot me, dude. Do some damage. Oh, he picked up. You jerk. Come back here. I can't believe that. He picked it up. Alright, let's try to see. I need to get actual damage done to me. Okay, cool. So now I've done damage. How do I use this thing? Oh, I click. So to use it, I clicked. But the interesting thing is, I could only use it once. Okay, that makes sense. There's some weird stuff going on there, because also it doesn't respawn. Wow. There, okay, we're gonna have to take a look. All right, we're gonna open up the other gym. Let's open the other map. I wanna look at the... Hold on, can we just escape? Quit game. Yes. We quit the game. This should take us back to the main screen. It does. If we want to play Lara, we can play start a game, elimination, loading the map. For some reason I remember when I was playing elimination, I walked over a health pack, it just worked. I didn't pick it up, it didn't equip it, it didn't do any of that. Okay, still loading. Okay, that's a shotgun. Where's the health packs? Whoa. Whoa! He's got my beam cannon. That's kind of cool, actually. All right, there's a health pack. Oh, but I haven't taken enough damage yet. Where'd he go? Where is he? They're fighting. There we go. There we go. Couple more hits. Okay, let's go see if we pick up that health pack. What happens? It healed me right away. It didn't actually pick it up. What is different about their setups? Let's take a look at the shooter map. Shooter core content. Maps. Shooter gym. Sure, let's save everything. The heck are they doing? They're with their health pickups. Okay. This might be another one we can try. Let's just double check that it works the same way. Alright, I'm getting hit. Trying to get to the heal. Almost there. Okay, it doesn't actually have the item there, but there is definitely a difference between damage and heal. Ah, here's a heal. Here we go. That's what we're looking for. Keep shooting me. Couple more hits. That guy's a really bad shot. There we go, we got damage. So when we go over this health pack, it did, and this one picked it up. That's different. Okay, so this is not the map we want. What in the world? How does this heal work? This is a gameplay effect pad. Oh. The gameplay effect pad just takes a gameplay effect for the heal. Interesting. Browse. Gameplay effect pad, reference viewer, is only used in the shooter gym. So that's not the one we're looking for. I want to know what they're doing in the map. Elimination. Let's filter this by user interface, materials, input, gameplay, foliage. Where the heck are the maps? Top-down arena, expanse. Expanse. We're not getting a lot done today. This is all about a scavenger hunt. Alright, so this is expanse. That's a weapon. Here's a heal. Okay, so let's see what this heal is. This is... Oh, this is an ability spawner. That's why. Okay, alright. We can go now. Escape. Although that's not going to help us. It's interesting. Plugins. HWZ content, Maps. Combat Gem. It's an ability spawner. Interesting. Well, that'll explain how their heals are not actually getting equipped. It's interesting because if we ability spawner. So if we add in an ability spawner instead, okay, and the ability that we're spawning, let's see what this thing has in it. Okay, and the ability that we're going to spawn is I wonder where we set that. That's audio. Default gameplay experience. This is all, oh, I'm not looking at details. Here we go. Gameplay effect to apply is instant heal. Weapon definition is heal small versus heal big. Okay, so if we play, do we need anything else? All right, let's go. Let's get some damage. Yeah, okay. So it's the difference between an ability spawner and an actual weapon. That makes sense. All right, so this one is an ability spawner, and this one is a weapon spawner. Oh man. Sandus is asking, what are you making? We're making a game, but this live stream is kind of like a Q&A, AMA, making a game. It depends. So we kind of hang out, and if people have questions, we'll try to stumble through those together. And if there aren't any questions, then I'm working on a game. And right now, the part that we're working on is not too long ago, we switched over to using the Lyra project as our base. And so we're trying to understand how Lyra is set up. So specifically right now, what we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out how the Lyra equipment system is set up so that we can create our own items and equipments with a current small step goal of creating a frost grenade. So we know we have grenades in Lyra, but the way they're set up is they're set up as a thing and an ability you just have, and we want to set it up as something that you can pick up. So that's kind of, hopefully that helps explain what we're doing. So we're not going to use this ability spawner. That answers that. We do have a weapon pickup data. It's interesting that even the ability spawner is using the weapon pickup data heal big, but that's okay. So if we come back to our grenades, we have items. What's in this item folder? It looks like this probably isn't used. Here's our input. This is in shooter core content. And there's an items folder. Okay, so within shooter core content, they have an items folder for health pickups and stuff like that. We're probably gonna need an items folder as well, but this isn't quite an item either. And these are our gameplay effects that do our instant heals. What did we just click on? Okay, we do have an ID heal pickup and and our ID. Okay, so here we are. We're back. Now we're finally back to where our question was. This gets back to when we look at these item definitions. So this thing is a inventory item definition, right? Oh, that's interesting. Do we have this in our list? We have an item definition for the weapon. We have a weapon item definition. We have a weapon instance. We have all these things. But I don't see that we have an inventory item definition. Oh yeah, that's what we're working on. Okay, this is what we're working on. Here we go. So we are working on this thing. This is our inventory item definition. Here we are. This is what we're working on right now. Let's lock this so it doesn't move. All right, and in there we have 3 fragments that we've gone over so far. We have our equippable item, our quick bar icon, and then there's these fragment stats. And in here, this is going to be magazine size, ammos, and spare ammos, which don't really apply to a health pack or a grenade per se, but that doesn't mean we can't use those. And then we have another fragment, which is the appearance. Now this is the one that seems suspect to me, because the display name is heel pickup, but the skeletal mesh is a pistol. And then we have a pad color of green. When we play this, notice that that pad color is not green. It's bright red. So I don't know that this is even being used. And this is for a heel pickup. But that's the heel pickup unused folder, interestingly enough. Interesting. And this is using heel weapon data heel pickup big. Okay. This is our weapon data, and it's using this ID heel pickup, which is in the unused folder. In the unused folder, this is where we have our pad color, etc. The trick is, if we go back, it doesn't look like it's using the pad color. If I set this to nothing, because it's the light, let's just see if our pad color changes. Nope. So I don't see how that's changing. Let's take a look at this. Our weapon item for the beam cannon. Let's change our beam cannon pickup and see if that actually changes. So we're gonna go to our item definition for the beam cannon. And inside that, let's make the pad color. Well, actually the pad color is already supposed to be blue by like a lot. So when we look at this, if we chill out our enemy just for sanity's sake, when we look at this, notice our pad color doesn't even seem to be using that. So I don't know if that's connected the way we think it is, y'all. If we look at our spawner, gives a weapon construction scripts, time indicator, it creates our material instinct dynamics, it does one for the pad mesh, It's setting the light color, light radius, gun pad color. Here we go. Set Niagara variable, gun pad color. Gun pad color. This gun pad color is coming from the light color. Then there's the weapon mesh, gun pad loading. All right, so what I want to know is what else sets gun pad color? Only the light color. Okay, call me crazy, but it does not look like these things are changing based on what it is. So like, for example, let's change this to a shotgun. Shotgun. The shotgun has pickup data that uses the ID for the shotgun. There's no pad colors here. And if we look at the item definition for a shotgun, you'll notice that the pad color is supposed to be this yellow. So when we play this, that's not yellow. It's not yellow at all. I don't see anywhere where this is getting set based off of an item definition. Timer indicator. Set the material instance dynamic for the pad. Like, where in here are we getting the item definition? Weapon mesh, point mesh. Where does this get set? The weapon mesh has to be set somewhere. This is the weapon spawner. Wow. I don't even see it in weapon mesh offset. How does this know what weapon mesh is loading, y'all? Ooh. I don't even see this variable weapon pickup. I don't even see this variable in our variables over here on the left. Here's our weapon mesh, that's why. This is in C++. Oh, I wonder if this gets set in C. Let's see here. Lyra item definition, pickup definition, capsule. So let's go to the definition. This is Lyra weapon spawner. Lyra This is in Lyra Game Weapons. So Inner Solution Explorer, Lyra Game Weapons, Lyra Weapon Spawner, CPP, and then in here, create default sub-object of use static mesh. That's fine. The weapon mesh, begin play, cooldown time, here it is. So on construction, what this is doing is it's setting the weapon mesh to the display mesh based on the weapon definition. So in here, our weapon definition, it's getting set to display mesh. So that's where the actual display mesh is coming from. So that makes sense. The inventory item definition though is a whole other thing. It doesn't even look like it's referenced in here. I don't see how these are being set. That's wild. That is wild. Alright, I think that as exciting and fun as the scavenger hunt is, I think we should spare you all the stream of the stumbling. And I think what we should do is I'm gonna spend some time over the next few days tracking down where this stuff lives to see if I can't wrap my head around this a little bit better. And what we're gonna do with that, is I'll spend some time tracking down where all these item definitions and everything live. I'll work out the flow chart that we were working on a little bit more. And then once we have that defined, hopefully that will help us. But there's a couple things in here that I'm seeing that it doesn't even seem like they're being used the way you might expect. Like, I don't see the pad color being used the way that I would expect it to be. And so I need to go back into some of the shooter projects and see if they're using a different pad and we're just using the wrong pad, or they're just not being used and those are being set by hand every single time, which is obviously not ideal in the sense that it doesn't seem the way it was intended to be created. So I'll map this out, and then we should hopefully on Sunday night be able to start to work on getting our frost grenade set up as an equipable item. Based on what we're seeing with the health packs, because we can even just pick those up and they're in our hands, I actually think we could create the grenade as something that you just pick up as a weapon and it will just work. But the only thing about that is, even if we do that, even if we get that working, that's still kind of a hack workaround, because ultimately we still want to be able to create items for the game that I'm making. So we need a whole inventory system and everything like that, a backpack, if you will. And so I guess we're on our quest to figure out how to create more weapon slots and build out a backpack, a UI for the backpack and things like that, so that you can pick up different things. So I think we'll wrap up today's scavenger hunt there. We didn't make a ton of progress. Serial, again, apologize for Sunday. Started late. Sandus, thanks for hopping in. Anybody else who was here, it was good to see you all. We'll be back again Sunday night at 10:15 for real this time. I'll remember to click the stream button. I hope everybody has an awesome Wednesday. Take it easy.